Here are the most recent deaths in the national news, as reported at Legacy.com the second week of November 2022. Legacy.com is where you can find any obituary or publish an obituary in any newspaper in America and beyond. Actor Kevin Conroy died November 10, 2022 in Burbank, California. He died of cancer at the age of 66. He was the voice of Batman for years in Batman the Animated Series, the Arkham series of video games, and many other TV shows, movies, and games. Conroy is being remembered as Batman's definitive voice, beloved to generations of comics fans. Comedian Gallagher died November 11, 2022 at his home in Palm Springs, California. He died of multiple organ failure at the age of 76. His stand-up act wasn't complete without his Sledge-O-Matic sketch, which included smashing a watermelon with a sledgehammer. Gallagher is being remembered for his comedy specials, one of which was the first comedy special ever to air on Showtime. MMA fighter Anthony "Rumble" Johnson died November 13, 2022 of non-Hodgkin lymphoma at the age of 38. He was a light heavyweight who fought in the UFC from 2007 to 2017. Johnson is being remembered for his knockout power. Musician Gal Costa died November 9, 2022 at her home in Sao Paulo, Brazil at the age of 77. She was a Brazilian icon known for tropicalia music, including her singles Baby and Meu Nome Gal. Costa is being remembered for decades of music, which led to her being honored with a Latin Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. Musician Nik Turner died November 10, 2022 at the age of 82. He played the saxophone with the British space rock band Hawkwind, as well as writing their songs including Brainstorm and Master of the Universe. Turner is being remembered for his outrageous costumes on stage and for collaborating with musicians including Sting. Musician Keith Levene died November 11, 2022 at his home in Norfolk, England. He died of liver cancer at the age of 65. He was a founding member and guitarist for Public Image Limited, influencing the development of post-punk with his innovative guitar work. Levene is also being remembered as a founding member of The Clash, who co-wrote their song What's My Name but left the band before they recorded their first album. Actor John Aniston died November 11, 2022 at the age of 89. He starred on Days of Our Lives as Victor Kiriakis for decades, from 1985 until his death. He is also being remembered as the father of actress Jennifer Aniston. Aniston was a U.S. Navy veteran. Reality TV personality Dolores Hughes died November 9, 2022 of heart failure at the age of 76. She was a star of Hollywood Hillbillies alongside her grandson, YouTube star Michael Cottrell. Hughes is being remembered as Meemaw, beloved by fans of the show for telling it like it is. Businessman Budd Friedman died November 12, 2022 of heart failure at the age of 90. He was the founder of the legendary Improv comedy club. He is being remembered for helping launch the careers of comedians including Jerry Seinfeld, Robin Williams, and Andy Kaufman. Friedman was a U.S. Army veteran of the Korean War. Talk show host Jim Bohannon died November 12, 2022 at a hospice facility in Seneca, South Carolina. He died of esophageal cancer at the age of 78. He was the longtime host of the syndicated radio program The Jim Bohannon Show. He is also being remembered for hosting the news show America in the Morning. Bohannon was a U.S. Army veteran of the Vietnam War. Virginia McLaurin died November 14, 2022, at her home in Olney, Maryland, at the age of 113. Millions of people watched the video of her dancing for joy when she met President and First Lady Obama at the White House when she was 106 years old. McLaurin is being remembered for her decades of volunteering to help the school children of Washington, D.C., for which she was honored with the President's Volunteer Service Award. Journalist Ellen Levine died November 6, 2022, at her home in New York City. She died of complications from dementia at the age of 79. She was the first female editor-in-chief of Good Housekeeping, as well as leading Woman's Day and Redbook. Levine is also being remembered for helping Oprah Winfrey launch O, the Oprah magazine. Actor Robert Clary died November 16, 2022, at his home in Los Angeles at the age of 96. After surviving the Holocaust as a teen, he went on to star in the World War II-themed sitcom Hogan's Heroes as Corporal LeBeau. Clary is also being remembered for soap opera roles in Days of Our Lives, The Young and the Restless, and The Bold and the Beautiful. At Legacy.com, any family can publish an obituary in honor of a loved one's memory, online and in local newspapers everywhere. Just visit Legacy.com and select your local community. 6 people were killed in an air crash between 2 vintage warplanes at the Wings Over Dallas Air Show on November 12, 2022. Their names are Terry Barker, Craig Hutain, Kevin Michaels, Dan Reagan, Len Root, Kurt Rowe. 3 students were killed in a shooting at the University of Virginia on November 13, 2022. Their names are Devin Chandler, Lavelle Davis Jr., Deshaun Perry. Every week in the United States, flags are lowered to half-staff to honor the lives of Americans whose communities are mourning their loss. Here are the most recent half-staff memorial flag honors. Flags in Virginia have been lowered in respect and memory of the victims of the University of Virginia shooting, their families, and the Charlottesville community. Flags in Massachusetts have been lowered to honor the memory of U.S. Army Sergeant First Class Jeremy Bushy. Flags in Indiana have been lowered to honor the memory of former State Representative Rex Early. Flags in Wyoming have been lowered to honor the memory of former State Senator Gerald Geiss. Flags in New Jersey have been lowered to honor the memory of First Lady Lucinda Florio. Flags in Georgia have been lowered to honor the memory of Speaker David Ralston. This week also marks several notable anniversaries. 20 years ago this week, actor James Coburn died at the age of 74. He was one of the coolest actors of the 60s, in movies including The Magnificent Seven and Our Man Flint. Professional wrestler Randy Savage was born 70 years ago this week. He died in 2011 at the age of 58. Known as Macho Man, he was one of the WWE's most popular wrestlers of all time. Actor Richard Mulligan was born 90 years ago this week. He died in 2000 at the age of 67. He starred in the TV sitcoms Soap and Empty Nest. Actress Kim Hunter was born 100 years ago this week. She died in 2002 at the age of 79. She won an Academy Award for her performance in A Streetcar Named Desire. Actress Veronica Lake was born 100 years ago this week. She died in 1973 at the age of 50. Known for her peekaboo hairstyle, she starred as a femme fatale in film noir of the 1940s. Actor Burgess Meredith was born 115 years ago this week. He died in 1997 at the age of 89. His prolific career included roles in The Twilight Zone, TV's Batman, and the Rocky film series. You can read more about the lives of the people featured in this video on Legacy.com. You can also follow Legacy.com on Facebook and subscribe to our channel on YouTube to stay up to date on national news deaths.